In this video, we'll be discussing the French bitter aperitif, Suze, and one of our favorite cocktails with it, the White Negroni. We are Teakwood Tavern Hospitality, educating minds and palates on wine, spirits, and food. Suze is made from wild gentian root that is grown in the French Alps. It packs bittersweet, herbal deliciousness into this clear but distinctly yellow liqueur. It brings in flavors of candied orange peel, lemon, vanilla, and honey, along with many spices. And it comes in at 20% ABV, so still relatively light. Fernand Moureaux inherited his family distillery in 1885. However, it was on the brink of bankruptcy. In order to save it, he needed to come up with a new and exciting recipe. So gentian root was already becoming popular in other parts of the world. Most French liqueurs at the time were wine-based. So he decided to play with that, and by 1889, he was already presenting the recipe still today at the World's Fair in Paris and won a gold medal. The distillery it's made at is actually at the southern tip of France and is quite famous. It was designed by Gustave Eiffel. You may have heard of his tower. Suze is produced from a mix of wild and farmed gentian root, both hand-picked. The root is left to macerate in a neutral distilled spirit for a full year. The root is then actually pressed to extract the maximum amount of flavor from it, which is then actually distilled a second time, which is a process totally unique to Suze, which makes it super cool. And then the additional aromatics are added, and then it's actually aged in well-seasoned casks for a whole nother 18 months after that.
Now that Shen has explained everything you need to know about Suze, it's time for us to make a cocktail. This cocktail, the White Negroni, which is a play on a classic Negroni, which is equal parts gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth. But for the White Negroni, we're going to keep the gin, we're going to swap out the sweet vermouth for Lillet Blanc, and then we're going to use Suze in lieu of Campari. Now, we're sticking with the traditional equal parts, so we have an ounce of each of those. Let's begin. So we have an ounce of gin, we have an ounce of Lillet Blanc, and we have an ounce of Suze. I'm going to stir that since it's all liquors. Need about a 20-second stir. Now, this drink, you can change the proportions if you want to. There are plenty of recipes that talk about upping the gin and then lowering the Suze. So if you're not a big fan of bitter ingredients, that might be the way to start. But really, that goes the same thing even for a classic Negroni. So plenty of room to play around with. We're going with the traditional equal parts, and that is something that the back of the Suze bottle even tells you. But again, use whatever you want as far as your proportions. So we had our glass chilling. We have our beautiful White Negroni pouring. And my lovely wife, who you've listened to for the last few minutes, made me a dehydrated orange whip. Beautiful. And there you have it. That is a White Negroni.
We hope you enjoyed learning about this French bitter aperitif. If you want to learn more, you should head to our website, teakwoodtavern.com, and we have a whole article dedicated to Suze. While you're there, there's much more to read about everything wine and spirits. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, Teakwood Tavern, here. If you want to see more videos like this one, click here.